Greetings, Incarnate bringing you all the latest indie gaming goodness. Welcome back as we look at another indie game. This time we're checking out Moonshine Inc. This game was developed by Klabater, the mad lads behind the excellent game Weedcraft, which I previously reviewed. Moonshine Inc. takes us into the exciting but highly illegal world of alcohol brewing. We're going to check out our own little alcohol business, and you're in good hands because, as an Australian, not only am I an expert in the consumption of alcohol, I'm an expert in brewing it too. Let's check out Moonshine Inc.
Our hometown just ain't big enough for you. It's never been. You finally decide to leave and make a name for yourself in the city. But it's not that easy, is it? Work's hard to come by. The city's not a friendly place. Finally, you find a job in a mob-controlled pub. Not a dream come true, sure, but you meet people, you learn things. You remember your big dreams and start a business with like-minded friends. Still, your actions don't go unnoticed. All it takes is one tip from your ex-employers, and it all goes down the drain. A police raid. The business is over. Fortunately, you are out of town. Unfortunately, you have to stay out permanently. You pack your bags and return back home to the mountains. But it's not all that bad. With the help of your great uncle and the best little sister in the world, that's me, you start a new business, Moonshining. Ready to chase some big dreams again.
We begin the game on our grandfather's old farm, where a man who had big dreams of starting our own business. The problem is our business was illegal, very illegal, and the law caught up with us, forcing us to flee town. We've returned home and discovered our grandfather's passed away, leaving his old farm to us, and we've discovered he was a moonshiner. Our job now is to continue his legacy, using his equipment to start us off. First thing we need to do is get a fermentation barrel and his old still set up. This is going to get us our first batch of alcohol. Now we're not going to be able to make very fancy alcohol at the start. We're going to need some help, so we can reach out to the locals who aren't really going to earn any prizes for intelligence, but they're cheap and they work hard. As we get more prestige for our business, we can attract more talent with specialised workers bringing in skills that can help our operation. But for now, we can head down to the shop and get ourselves some basic equipment. We'll start off with some sugar, and we're going to buy a quantity of sugar that is totally not suspicious. When you're buying 100 keys of sugar, you're simply making a cake. A very big cake. Thankfully, most of the locals knew who our grandfather was, so they've probably got a bit of an idea what we're doing. But if they want high quality alcohol, they're not going to rat us out. With this new sugar, we can start on our first batch of moonshine. We add Demerara sugar, Barbados sugar, and we add it to our tank with a bit of yeast. We have our flavour chart here, which will give us an indication of the overall taste of what we're brewing. As you can see, it's a bit on the acrid side, so we can adjust the ingredient quantity to get the perfect amount for 100% match. Not too bad if I do say so myself. Finally, we distill it, and as you can see, we've got a 83% quality. Not too bad for our first try. Next, we want to ferment. This is a bit more tricky. We need just the right amount of sugar and water. Too much will be too sweet, and too little will result in a watered down, garbage tasting drink. Beautiful. As you can see here, we have our first problem. This is a 200 litre barrel. This is only going to provide enough alcohol to provide an Australian enough drink for a day. So we're going to need more barrels, bigger barrels, and better product. The last step is to set up our fermentation time. Again, this is a guessing game, but I usually will brew until the sugar and ethanol intersect. Maybe a bit more. Generally, the rule of thumb is you want to try and not ferment any more than about a day. At least until you get better equipment. Beautiful. So now we simply have to wait for our boys to get working. What they're doing now is adding the ingredients to the tank and chopping wood to fuel our distillery. Our goal is to earn enough mastery points from brewing to unlock the next tier. With better equipment, we can make a better product. We also want to keep an eye on the cops. If we start brewing huge amounts of alcohol, we are going to bring too much attention. So we want to start small and play it safe. Distillation is next. Our goal is to get 30% ethanol. We have a choice of a high flame or a low flame. Again, keeping in mind the magic number, 30%. We don't seem to be able to get 30% here, so we're going to switch to a low flame. Ah, beautiful. 34%. It's a little bit over, but I'm not too worried because we can water down the finished product, bringing down the ethanol quantity and also getting ourselves a little bit of extra alcohol. So I think that is a pretty good match. It's 53%. The flavour is a little bit off, but it's going to be very hard to... I mean, I can play with this, but we need that ethanol quantity, so... Yep, let's play it safe. This isn't going to get us... It's not going to get us the best quality, but it's at least going to get us a drink. Something we can sell, even if it's a bit cheap. So the boys are going to get to the final brewing, and then we can bottle the product, and we can sell it. Now, selling in the game works a bit different to their selling in games like Weedcraft. What we'll do is distribute the product to a location, and then they will gradually move the product to keep the police from getting suspicious. This means we're not going to get a heap of money in our hands straight away. We're going to get it over time. So we need to make sure we're thinking about keeping some money to keep the operation going. Right now, we're burning through a lot of money. So we need to start becoming profitable very quick. We've got people to pay and we've got product to move. So back to base. And boom. So with our first batch completed, we can bottle this bad boy up. The quality is only 40%, so we're not going to get very much money for it. But what we can do is we can change the dilution and also the price. So as you can see, raising the price means that people are not going to buy it as quick. Keeping it at a reasonable price means we're going to move this at a good rate. I've watered it down a bit, and yeah, that's still pretty good. So our first batch is going to be called the Blotto Bottle. It'll get you drunk, it'll probably also send you blind, but them's the breaks when you're in the deep south. Okay, next thing we're going to do is determine our selling location. We've got a couple of places under a bridge, the local gambling den, or an old shack. Let's start with a shack. And we've only got 16 litres to sell, so it's not going to be a hell of a lot. But money's money. Now, while that product goes to its destination, let's check out our next job. The local pastor is having a difficult time. It's not easy being the holiest person around. Maybe something to lift his spirits, or something spirits to lift him. Our next job is to make poor man tequila. To do that, we're going to need a little bit of money, and we're going to need a new technology of mashing. Unfortunately, that means we're going to have to do a bit more brewing. And we're going to need some more ingredients.
Welcome.
So next thing we're going to do is purchase some more sugar. I'm going to buy a fair bit this time. Because something tells me we're probably going to be making some more rot gut for a while. At least until I can get enough experience to make something better. Now, as you can see, there is a certain point where the police will start getting suspicious. Buying 200 keys of sugar is probably not what I'd want to do, but as long as we, as long as we keep things chill, we'll be fine. Next thing we're going to do is recreate our batch. Now, once you have a batch and you have your recipe, making it again is very simple. All you have to do is make sure you have the right ingredients, and you've also got the equipment nice and clean. What I should have done was clean it out. But no, the durability is pretty good. So there's two things that are going to happen to your equipment. Over time it wears out and it gets dirty. You need to clean it and you need to maintain it. So for now, let's let the boys do what they do best. Now, while we wait for that next batch to come up, we can have a look at some of the other things we can research. We can add some larger stills, better filtration, which means that we're going to get more pure alcohol, and we can also make things like wine through the aging process. You can see here though we need mastery points, and to get mastery we're going to have to keep making alcohol. So for now, our new batch is going to head out. Then we're going to sell it to another point, because if we go to the map here, you can see here that the police are starting to get suspicious of this area. Selling the blotto bottles is going to make us some enemies. So we're going to head down to the local den, and hopefully we can sell some more there. We're on the final process now, and we're still not getting much in the way of mastery points. And it's going to take more than one batch to be able to increase our mastery. We have to remember that our men are also slow learners, so it's going to take time for them to learn new skills. It'll probably take about maybe 3 or 4 more batches. But with this fresh batch of blotto bottles, we should get another mastery point. We need 5 to be able to research brewing better alcohol, and that's where we can start making tequila. Beautiful. 32 bottles, and then now we'll deliver them under a bridge, because why not? Now you can see here we're making money, but it's very little. We're really only breaking even. We're making a slight profit. Beautiful. As you can see there, we've got a bit of money coming in. They're selling the batches off. And yeah, the alert risk here is very high. We're going to zoom out a bit, have a look around and see. Yeah, we don't really have anywhere to sell other than these 3 locations. So what we're going to do is, if we can't craft better equipment, let's craft more equipment. And what we'll also do is do a bit of cleaning. These things need a bit of a repair. And I'm going to craft... Okay. So the next thing we do is build an open fermentation tank, and we can see whether we can start brewing different alcohol with an open tank. Again, I have no idea what we can use for that. It's all about experimentation, working out what works, working out what ingredients go well with what types of fermentation methods, what equipment can make what alcohol. Next thing we need to do is clean this. Oops, scrub this bad boy out. It's imperative we keep our equipment in tip-top shape. The better the equipment, the better the alcohol. You can see here already the extra money we've made has already been eaten away. Beautiful. Everything's nice and clean. Next thing we want to do is build ourselves a open fermentation tank. And we're going to try and make ourselves a... Some of these are very expensive. And you can see here that we've got a thumper. And this is... Let's give this a go as well. You know, it's all about the experimentation. We're going to have to figure out different things different things to build and find out what works. So as you can see, we've got some construction going. And you can see here that our grandfather is happy, well, our grandfather's brother, that we've got some additional equipment to test. So let's just slap this down, open fermentation tank, and see what we can make in it, because I have no idea. I've only used the cauldron. So this is new virgin territory for me. Let's get a new batch going. Now it appears that we can't use that. Okay, so we can actually brew in an open fermentation tank. So we're going to head down and we're going to, let's make some money with a little bit of, yeah, let's try and, I'm going to do a bit of experimentation. We're going to buy some different sugar. And some beet sugar. Again, I don't know what this is going to do. We're just going to have to try different things. We may unlock a new recipe. We may also make some really horrible alcohol. But at the very least, this is how you work out what to build, what to make. It's all trial and error, and I think that's part of the fun. So we'll get some beet sugar in an open fermentation tank and some turbinara. So that's actually pretty good. Look, it's actually balanced it out quite nice. And I think if I now play around with this, oh, look at that, 100% match, baby. Beautiful. So now we've got a new recipe. I don't know what it's going to make, but we'll give it a go. Again, it's all experimentation. We'll figure out what we'll make. Beautiful. Again, we're going to brew. We're going to try brewing longer this time. I'm going to brew right up until we get our first introduced flavour, which I want to try and avoid. Quality 78. This new equipment seems to be the go. Let's give it a go. So with the open tank and the new ingredients, let's see what we can cook up. I have no idea what we're making. No idea at all. We'll find out. And hopefully it's something profitable, because we're hemorrhaging money right now. Thankfully this is a cheap operation to run. A little bit of sugar, a little bit of water, bit of labour, and boom, you've got alcohol. So next thing we want to do is distill this bad boy. 30% ethanol. Let's do it. Oh, look at that, 31. Let's see if I can get down to 30. 25. 26. I think 31's the best we're going to get. So let's try high. 35. Yeah, I think we'll cook on a low flame. $36, $31. Now, as you can see, it's going to be a bit on the sweet side. 59% match. Quality still pretty meh, but see how we go. Again, it's a low quality alcohol because we've got low quality products, low quality equipment. As we get better equipment and we get better, we'll be able to make better products. I mean, the alcohol has, I mean, we have been we've been breaking even. So it's not too bad. We've got some brand new equipment. We've got a new mystery recipe. Who knows? Will it be a delicious new type of alcohol, or will it send everybody blind and brain damaged? We'll find out. That's the fun about moonshine. You never know whether you're going to get a life-threatening illness or whether you're going to get a delicious drink. So the next thing I'm going to do is bottle this bad boy up. It is moonshine. It's a bit of a different moonshine. Donald's recipe, okay. Let's drop the price, increase the alcohol. Oh wow, look at that. The profit's going to be good. This is going to be expensive stuff. $36 a bottle. So even though this is actually, the quality isn't great, it's 100% very expensive. So I'm going to call this. Let's call it Don't Blind Me. It's an aspirational brew. I'm aspiring not to cause life-threatening illness. So let's get this delivered. Unfortunately, our friend... Oh, and wow, look at that. So with this new tank, we've got twice as much alcohol. In fact, actually 3 times as much. So that was definitely worth it. Let's see. I think we better get another one of these on the go. Your driver decided to take a shortcut down a old scree slope. It was going fine until a giant boulder fell next to the car. The driver panicked but managed to save some of the merchandise. He sure isn't fixing to drive that carelessly anytime soon. So, driver gets a careful trait and delivery quantity minus... Oh man, we lost 3/4 of the alcohol. Damn. One of your clients doesn't like your drink too much and now he's standing next to your hotspot yelling at people not to buy from you. And while the customer is always right, he's definitely wrong and you need him to vamoose. Oh man, I have to pay him $4,000? No. Sorry. So what's happened, we got messed up a bit. We lost 3/4 of our alcohol, and we've also made an enemy from one of the locals who's decided to tell everyone our drink is bad. So
Can I help you?
we're going to head down here. And we're going to buy some more sugar, but I think we'll leave it here. I'll do a bit more experimentation, and I hope that this gives you a bit of an idea on whether you want to pick up this fantastic game. It's all about the experimentation, trying different things, different recipes, and learning more about how the business of moonshining works. We discovered some new recipes, we learnt about some of the new equipment, and I've got some ideas on how we can get a better brew going. We've also identified a few locals who may want some different products, and we've made a few enemies along the way, but that's the breaks when you're a moonshiner. So it's a really fun game. I hope you enjoyed looking at this first impression of Moonshining Inc, and hopefully you'll join me next time when we try another indie game. Until then, Skill Incarnate, out.